Today's topic is how to build a startup in combination with an agency, which brings many advantages. You don't have to use your funds for the startup. You always have enough income. At least it's easier to generate income with an agency than with a startup. Agency, of course, is not as scalable as a startup, but a combination of both of those can remove a lot of headaches, I think. We have guests, Adam and Carmel Wooding, today, who are experiencing this kind of combination. We will learn which advantages it has and how to succeed in both of those worlds. How did you end up with this combination of having a startup and an agency?
We build the software once and it's infinitely scalable. Through our agency, we work with so many different businesses and we constantly come up against problems and we see firsthand what the challenges are and what opportunities are out there.
I think there is a lot of potential in solutions built based on first-hand experience on the market. And if you specialize in a certain industry, you are pretty far advanced because you work all day and understand much better what is missing. You can create a very unique product because you understand your target audience.
All of a sudden, people aren't talking to us because they're just installing the app and it's working. So like emotionally and psychologically, sometimes that's tricky to go from being so involved with our customers to being like, oh, I guess they're having a good experience because they're not writing to us and telling us that they're not having a good experience. One of the things that I learned quickly in the startup is that importance of customer validation. It might be a good idea, but if it's not going to work in a way that makes sense for them, and if they're not willing to pay for it, then what's the point? You can throw a lot of money to create your startup or your software product, but if you don't know your user and how they need to use it and what problem it's solving, then you're starting on the back foot. If you believe in your product and you're willing to put in the work, it's worth it. It's very fulfilling, but it's hard work as well.
I remember that moment that we went live and feeling this sense of relief that we'd made it to the top of the mountain, we'd finally launched, and then realizing, no, this is actually just the start of the bottom of the mountain, just getting to
base camp.
That's all we had achieved.
For solo founders out there, if you're just getting started, my advice is to lean into your network, lean into mentors if you can find them, or just good friends that are willing to listen and hear you out and share the load, share the emotional load and the journey. I really believe in our idea. We haven't created a product that we've then had to go, hey guys, you should use this. We have found a problem that people have gone, gee, I wish I could solve this. And we've gone, well, here, use this. This solves it.
It's better to develop one really great solution than 1,000 times with a cheap developer without much experience.
Initially, we thought we were just making an app that allowed Shopify merchants to use modifier sets. Over time, we've realized that what people actually want is what Shopify promises, that unified commerce experience. What our app offers, the ability to have a cafe that runs on Shopify that reports that they can use for their reporting and analytics and inventory.
It's a constant running from one fire to the next.
And sometimes you feel like there is not so much progress because you compare, maybe you see it, first of all, on the short term with yesterday, but also compare with your predictions. And then it's, of course, a little bit disappointing, but no one can predict exact how long it will take.
If our merchants want to use us, but they're currently using Square or Clover or Toast, they can't come over to us until we've got a comparable product. Mm-hmm. They can't go, oh, yeah, we'll come over to you. Oh, but you can't do receipt printing. They need that right now, every day, every transaction.
We try to focus on the things that most people are asking for consistently, and that's what's been guiding us so far.
So sometimes not knowing, rather than holding us back, can actually be really empowering because you go, oh, I just didn't take no for an answer. I think it takes time to get comfortable with knowing what you're good at and knowing what you're not good at.
You have to understand what is so specific about your solution. We are in such a interconnected world. You don't need to invent everything from scratch. For example, the advantage of so many clients or users, so you can learn which kind of user cases, how they use your software, so that you can see a pattern and say, okay, we have 20% of users that take so much effort, but they don't seem to be very satisfied. The world is so big. If you have thousands of potential customers and you have 3 competitors, there is enough room for everyone, I think.
Be aware that it's a long road ahead. And also really think through what you're doing and think through and have a really good plan your user experience.
Even though this is a really hard road, the good thing is that Carmel and I have 100% ownership over our startup completely. We're not answerable to anyone else.
I've seen some negative experiences with VCs and business angels. Of course, they are also great VCs, but in general, the risk is high that you get a VC who says, okay, you have this plan, but I want you to expand no matter how much money you are losing. I want to just grow. And you are getting into this cycle of where you don't know what happens after the next 6 months. You have the funding for the next 6 months, and then you have to try to find a lot of money for after this time, for the next 6 months. It's like election with presidents. You're just acquiring new money. And yeah, it can be so destructive from your core business.